So I said that I wasn't going to do this anymore, but I felt like there may be some woman or possibly a man out there that could possibly be going through what I'm going to talk about. And being that YouTube has gotten so racist and there's a lot of cooning and buffooning going on here, um, but I'm just going to work myself through it. By the way, guys, if you guys want readings or consultations, let me start this off by saying this. You can schedule with me by texting me at, well, I prefer for you to cash at me um, first before you start texting me, or either visiting my link tree. Okay. But that is my number. Okay. For you to text me for your booking link to schedule your appointment. All right. So I want to come and talk about somewhat of a very sensitive topic. And this is about the length of time that it takes with witchcraft to break away from an abusive partner. Um, and so there are many elements that can come along with that. It is a devastating experience when you go through that. It seems like your whole entire family can sometimes be affected. Hold on. Your whole family can be affected by this. Okay. Um, I know that in some cultures, especially when it comes to black culture, but I've heard about this happening in all races, just feeling as though this man, especially if you're a woman, but feeling as though this man is being um this man is being coddled. He's being supported in his abuse of you. I've noticed that this has been happening quite a bit, as a lot of people in this world literally lose their humanity. We're seeing that all over the place. And I want to tell you guys that the moment that you start slipping and you start losing your humanity, please check yourself, because I got a little secret to tell y'all. Anybody who is losing their humanity is factually deemed as being a zombie almost, right? So don't think, oh, well, this is the way that I've got to get by. This is survival of the fittest. It is not. When you literally start losing your humanity, this is when you're in trouble. So a lot of people need to check themselves, okay? A lot of people think that stuff is cool, but you know what? God is going to teach you a freaking lesson, okay? I may be a witch, but I do believe in God. I'm not Christian, But I do believe in being a good person. I do believe in doing good in this world. Okay. And I do not believe that people that are doing evil and losing their humanity, I think that they actually have some kind of I feel like it's pre-signs of certain things that are happening within their mind, their body, and their spirit, and it is not good. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. How long does it take? Like, I noticed that it can really, depending on the environment that you're in, and this is granted if you have a man that is getting all kind of voodoo done on you, hoodoo done on you. He done did all kinds of bindings. He done did work on your family. He has tried to isolate you from everybody. He is pretty much taken you as his unwilling bride of sacrifice. That's one thing that I want to warn you guys about. People think it's cute. People think it's funny. It's not. What's becoming more popular is these men hooking up with women and then pretty much hooking up with them just so that they can pretty much either spiritually, physically, or mentally abuse them to death. Okay. So it's not because he sprung or he crazy or you got some good stuff. No, this is actually something that some of these people out here feel that they are doing for survival. Maybe this is a custom that they have um, picked up in their lineage, their bloodline, maybe their culture. However, everybody has the choice to make a better choice than that. Okay. So I'm going to get to my point. How long does it take to completely break free of this person? What I can tell you is that it's an average of 6 weeks. I'm sorry, 6 to 9 to 12 weeks is what you're looking at. You're going to see improvement. Granted, the right things are done, the right diagnoses, and I'm talking about spiritual diagnoses, are done. Usually at about the 9 week mark, you're going to start seeing improvement. You're going to start seeing glimpses of improvement at that 12 week mark, which is 90 days, which is about 3 months. This is when the process, for some reason, starts to take place. If you are a woman that is still menstruating, this could take less time, but it's actually better if you're a woman that's still menstruating. Okay. For some reason, having that monthly cycle really does help to clear things out at the same time. Okay. But it's not terribly necessary, but it does tend to make it easier if you are menstruating, which is why if you are dealing with a toxic relationship or a male, it's important for you to break free of that, preferably before you stop menstruating, because that menstruation is very powerful. Okay. Typically a man's energy or a person's energy that you have cut off can linger for up to 90 days. We're going to say 6 week, 9 week, 12 week. This is the reason why it is so important to see the early signs from the beginning and then sometimes avoid at all. If your spirit guides or if something is telling you to avoid this man because he is going to drag you down, probably a good idea just to walk away completely and to not deal with that person at all. Okay. Because who in the hell has 3 months to recover? Without doing proper spiritual work, which the way that I do it, I practice Native American traditional practices. I do. Okay. I practice the way they did traditionally. Okay. Without witchcraft, it can take longer. It can definitely take longer. In fact, I have seen women that have still been in limbo 10 to 20 years later, right? Because what people don't realize while they are constantly demonizing women, and like I said, this can happen to a man. I'm not discriminating against you men, but basically, they're like collectors. They like to trap. They're like trappers, especially in particular if you're dealing with somebody particularly evil and sinister and diabolical. So up to 3 months is when you're gonna completely, and that's granted that everything that is needed has been done. It depends on the history, it depends on the situation. Uh I'm gonna be honest with y'all. There is sometimes dozens of things that need to be done, that need to be removed. Yes, we have found, because here's the one thing about it. They keep going, basically. They keep going with it, right? Especially if it's a man that's trying to feed off of you, especially if he's very parasitic. He keeps going. He keeps going. He's constantly thinking about you. And then keep in mind that women are not the only ones with intuition, and your intuition is tied with your intention. Okay. And then also, some of them have aunties, they have sisters, they have grandmas, they have great grandmas that they can go to do stuff to you. And some of them are batshit crazy. Okay. So there may be many, many, many elements, right, that you have to go through. Like, honestly, as a witch, I know how to break all kinds of curses. uh, it doesn't matter what kind it is. It can be a death curse. It can be a Haitian voodoo curse. It can be a forced marriage curse, hoodoo. It doesn't matter what kind of curse it is. I know how to break it. I know how to break it and keep it off of people. Okay, because what is happening is that a lot of times, by any means necessary, this crazy person who once claimed that they loved you, all of a sudden, where does the love go when it's time to let you go? Where does that love go? Everybody knows that when you're dealing with real love, when you really love someone, when the love is real, you're going to want to see that person happy. You're going to want that person to be okay. You're going to always have a place in your heart where you just want this person to be happy. When a person really loves you, they are never going to want to see harm come to you. A man or a woman, but it's typically men. We know that they beat us with this by a long slide. A man that wants to see you dead. Hell, it don't even have to be romantic. It can be friendship. A person that wants to see you dead because you walked away from them never actually loved you. That is not love. When you love something, you know how to let it go. And this is the reason why, listen, and see, people are going crazy. I think it may be something in the water, it may be something in the air. I do not take client cases where somebody wants revenge on a lover that left them. I don't take those cases. I don't deal with that crap. Move on with your life. I don't deal with that. Now, if a person did something to you, like I said, what we're talking about right now, then I will take those cases to help people. But as far as me taking cases to where somebody come to me and they like, oh, this person, they didn't do what I told them to do, and they didn't do this, they didn't do that, I want to curse them. I don't mess around with that, because people that are doing that, it may not get you today, it may not get you tomorrow, it may not get you a year from now, it may not get you 5 years from now, but it's gonna get you. Now, if a person did something to you that traumatized you, or they did something to your child or your animal or anything like that, to where it was a mundane curse, right? Because you don't necessarily have to do a voodoo ritual to curse somebody. You can curse somebody just by mundane actions. Then that is different, okay? Such as rumors, lies, harassment, stalking, things of that nature can be disempowering to another person. It can be. Being stalked is probably one of the most devastating things that can happen to a person, because the intention behind stalking is disempowerment for some reason. Our society is not equipped to deal with that, and they shouldn't have to be. However, there are the angels like myself, who I firmly believe I am an incarnated angel, but there are the people that are going to roll with you. They're going to rock with you. They're going to stick by you. They're going to get you through that situation, because you know what? Once you have been pulled into that type of situation, your world changes, your reality changes. So the first person that needs to be worked on is you. This is the reason why I always start out with a cleanse, a very deep, deep cleanse, very deep cleanse of you, cleansing of all of that stuff that does not serve you. I always like to start with that. Okay. Even if it's a curse reversal that I'm doing, return to sender, I always do a cleanse, because that just helps you clear yourself of that energy. Okay. Now, depending on how far they went, because an abuser, they don't want your family to have nothing to do with you. They don't want your kids to have nothing to do with you. They don't want you to have a real abusive stalker is crazy. And you know what? Do you think that all spiritual practitioners have High Priestess Jamila's ethics? No, they don't. No, they don't. They can know that the target is perfectly innocent, and they will still take cases for clients that are psychotic and neurotic like that. And they will fuck you up, and you will be lost out there. And you know what? I have seen so many people die because of that. I have seen so many people unalive themselves. I've seen so many people in jail. I've seen so many people in mental institutions because of that. It's no joke. So you have got to understand that there is nothing normal about what you're dealing with, especially when there's black magic and some kind of baneful witchcraft involved. Okay, seriously. And it ain't nothing that can be taken lightly, and it's not nothing that's gonna be cheap. Everybody always looking for a cheap solution. It's not gonna be cheap. It's hard as hell. It's hard work because they have taken everything from you. They have stripped you. Okay. Basically, you have been put out there to the wolves to be eaten. And that's exactly what they have done. They have stripped your crown off of you. They have literally taken everything from you. So you have to know the way to fight back. I don't give a damn if it started 10 years ago. I don't care if it started 3 years ago, 5 years ago. You have to go all the way back to the beginning, to where the seed was first planted. Every summer, everything has been done to you. If you dealing with a coven, they done threw your poppet in the ocean. They done buried poppets. They done did all kinds of spell work to you for this person. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend just doing baneful shit to people just on a humbug. I believe that baneful magic should be done to people that fucking deserve it. Do I believe that some trusting, gullible woman deserves all of that? No, I don't. Okay. But it happens. And as you guys can see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're Christian. It doesn't matter if you're Catholic. It does not matter. It still happens. It's still, the witching is still witching. The witch is still witching, regardless to what religion you are. Okay. And you know how the saying goes, you can't fight fire with fire. That's bullshit. You have to fight fire with fire, because what you have is a situation to where this person is discarding, especially if they are a narcissist. Many of y'all will come to me and y'all will say, okay, this person is like literally less than perfect. Can I prepare myself to go ahead and walk away from this person? Can I do that? Sure, yeah, you can. We do a nice little hoity-toity working to where you say, hey, you go your way, I go mine, I cut the cord. Guess what? That person is out for blood. That person don't want to split amicably. They don't want to let you go amicably. They want blood shed. They want vengeance. It happens. The first thing that they start with, though, what I've noticed about abusive men is they will start work on your family. The moment that you know that a man is doing work on your children or your family, it's time to go to battle. It's time to go to war, because that's when the ancestors are going to say, wait a minute, he just threw himself out the window. He just threw himself off the train. Once you start doing that to somebody family, the reason why they start doing work on your family is because they want you to be isolated from your family. They don't want you to be able to go to your family. Then they go to trying to isolate you. Oh, this person ain't going to meet nobody. They're not going to ever move on. Then they want to try to do curses on you to mess with your money. Then they want, it's all, listen, when a person messes with your family, your babies, that's death magic. You know why? Because many people have unalived themselves over their children. Many people have harmed themselves out of grief of their children. There's been not even self-harm. There have been some people that have died of broken hearts because of what happened with their child. Okay. Anybody that's messing with your paper, with your money, that's death magic. That is death magic. If a person messes with your method of income, your paper, how you take care of yourself, that is death magic. Okay? Even when somebody's copying off of you, even when somebody is stealing your design, even when somebody is stealing your ideas, even when somebody's trying to steal your position, the way spirit sees it is death magic, because that person is setting you up. Now see, I got to bring this up because right now what we got going on, and I want to say this on the side note, they not going to get rid of SNAP benefits, y'all. They not. They're gonna, it's gonna all be resolved. I want to I personally want to let you guys know that, okay? That stuff is going to be resolved very soon. Okay. So don't feed into the fear. Everything's going to be okay, because as a mother to a mother, I know what you guys are going through. I know what y'all deal. I know, especially if you are somebody that is brand new, somebody that, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to be fine with that, okay? However, the mere fact that a person would set you up to be vulnerable to this world is death magic. They leave you out there in the wood with the wolves. They leave you out there to get eaten. What are you going to do? You have to follow the voice of the divine feminine and the witch, and not no fence rider. No. If a witch is if you have a witch that advocates, she's never going to ride the fence. Okay? So y'all got to be careful out here with these people that are fence riders. I'm not saying that we gotta coddle every single woman. I'm not saying that, because some of these women out here, they just ain't damn right. They just ain't right. But when it like when it comes to supporting and cuffing the nut sacks and the balls of these diabolical men, I don't stand for that at all. And I've got female enemies, which is really weird because I've never had women that were my enemies until I came to YouTube and started this channel. I've never had women enemies ever. I've never had men enemies. I've never had enemies. So right off the bat, we know that it's crazy people in this world whenever Jamila has enemies. That makes no sense. I don't make enemies. I don't do anything to make enemies. Okay. I'm pretty much a solid person. So I don't do mess like that. Okay. So if anybody is my enemy, they're just literally banging their heads up against a wall is what they doing, and they tripping. You know what I'm saying? Something wrong with that person. They must be mentally ill or something. Cause I don't do enemies like that. I don't create enemies. I don't make enemies. However, there are a lot of people that don't have a lot of respect for human life. They don't give a damn about you or your family or how you feel. In fact, some of them get off on it when you or your child is having some kind of night terror. They're abusers. They are just abusers at heart. So that's just what that is. Okay. So anyway, it's gonna take you up to 3 months. Up to 3 months. Just sleeping with a man one time, one time, that ain't no good, can mess you up for a month. Sleeping with him consistently, especially because sex is too powerful. When you're having sex with someone, you're putting your intention in them. If you have a man that is an agent, if you have a man that was sent to you to tear you down, his intention is to destroy you. That's what he's pumping into you when he's thrusting. What do they call that when a man is pumping, thrusting, pumping, thrusting, penetrating you. Okay. So if you just sleep with him once, that may be okay. Or if you sleep with him for one moon cycle, that would be okay. Many of y'all have been sleeping with that man for like 5 or 6 years, 10 years, 20 years, and he ain't no damn good. Okay. So, however, it's funny how things that they do that can possibly take them 20 years to do to you, we can actually heal you from in less than 6 months. Sometimes less than 3 months, you can be healed completely. It depends on you and how easily and quickly you take to it. So that's about how long that it takes. That's why it's so important to just not deal with some of these people at all. Like if it's ill advisable for you to deal with that person and you done check that person out and you've been advised against it, that's because who has 3 months? Who has 3 months to dilly dally ever? Nobody, right? Anyway, so once you've done that, you have to cut off all communication with that person. You can't go back and talk to that person. Imagine people going back and being friends with someone that tried to kill them. Oh, I don't know what I was tripping off of. Oh, I was possessed. Oh, I wasn't feeling well. Oh, I was drunk. Um, no. The answer is no. You do not go back and talk to somebody and be cool with somebody that tried to kill you, was actively trying to kill you. Sleeping with the enemy is death. That's why a lot of people want to get away because you're literally running for your life. You should be pissed at that person, completely done with that person. You ain't got to stay mad with them forever, but that should piss you off. Somebody that came into your life just to be disruptive and problematic. And they can make as many excuses as they want, but that's exactly why they came into your life. That was what their actions was. People can try to paint a different picture for you. Don't ever fall for it. And don't you ever blame yourself. You knew when you were being disrespected, you knew when you were being mistreated. You like and a narcissist will try to change perception of reality. This person is betraying you, doing all kind of stuff underhanded. So you don't go back and start talking to that man or woman that tried to kill you. Okay? Because please believe that they will kill you. They will physically. They will literally do it, but they have done it with black magic. People don't realize how easy it is. Like it can be easy to kill somebody with black magic. Typically it's with third party, almost like a hitman. So you may not necessarily die of an illness or sickness or sudden death, but and that can be done too. However, there's gonna be people around you, like people in the world. You may be in the wrong place at the right time for them. And then the next thing you know, something going down. So, you know. That is my little tidbit. You want to look for dramatic, like you'll instantly start to feel better once you start getting the work done. But there's 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks. After that 12th week, end game. That's when you literally want to even stop talking about that person. Don't even talk about them. That is when you will reach the point where you won't even think about them. Don't even think about them. If you're still having like nightmares or flashbacks or whatever, depending on how deep the trauma was, that's understood. But a lot of the times, it's really good to just let it go. Whatever you're going to do within that 3 months, do it. If you end up having to go to court or something, that's one of the reasons why I never got married. That it just, it just is not set up to be beneficial to anybody, especially the woman, because a lot of them will drag you in and out of court. Mm-mm. Nobody that ain't married, like, especially if you didn't marry that person, what are we arguing about? What are we in divorce court now? What, do I have to go through some changes for you to let go? This should be easy. But my uncle told me years ago, he's deceased now. And I think he told me this for a reason. He said, Shawnee, because everybody in my family called me Shawnee. He said, Shawnee, you don't have to walk down the aisle to get married. And I was wondering at the time, I said, why is he telling me this? He said, the wedding ceremony is just the celebration. Even the pastor, even the person that is marrying the two, that's not what makes a person married or tied to each other. And that is the truth, because many of them have an intention to stay tied to you. They want to stay tied to you. Okay. In fact, there's several Bible verses that men will use to keep you tied with them. And you ain't walked down no aisle. You ain't even had no ring on your finger. And a lot of them feel like, well, you belong to me. I do whatever I want to do with you. And you have to do what I say. Then we live in a society that is sexist. You do the math. Society can already be sexist, but I think that they do certain work. I think that they do work to do that to some people. So you have to be really, really careful, because even if he does not physically take your life, he's still taking your life. And I don't think for one day nobody deserves to live under that kind of dark cloud. Not for one day. You deserve love. You deserve happiness. You deserve success. You deserve joy and peace in your life. So I don't agree with that. And I'm very, very, very serious about that. And I offer no apologies for it. It's something that is not tolerated at all. Okay. In fact, a man that's trying to get vengeance on a woman is a sissy to me. He is sissy. He's sissified. I don't like that. I don't respect that. And it ain't gonna never be no place in my heart where I am gonna. That woman said, get away from her, go away. That woman said, no, go away. What are you doing? Stop, stop, cease and desist. Oh, okay, let me go ahead and call the Valor 4. Let me go ahead and call the Vasico then. Let me go ahead and call the Lilith. Yeah, because that's not right for you to do that. And many, many, many women are going through it and they don't really know where to turn because they are taught not to trust anybody. And when you look around, sometimes it seems like you can't trust nobody. Because don't it seem like everybody done lost their damn mind? I feel like people just done lost their mind. So, but yeah, give it some time, in the meantime, be careful. Don't be telling these men where you work at. You never tell a man where you work at, and you never tell a man how much money you make. You ain't supposed to be doing that anyway. He ain't even supposed to be asking you that. So anyway, y'all be careful out here because a lot of them are confused and they own an agenda. Okay. All right, that's pretty much it. Y'all make sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe this video. And again, y'all can contact me for my current reading prices, okay? Because my time is very valuable. My readings are either 20 minutes, 40 minutes, or I've kind of started doing a different time scale as far as like with my readings and stuff. So y'all can just contact me about that or either consultations. Okay. All right, y'all. I will see y'all later. Blessings to y'all and good luck with everything if you're dealing with somebody like that. That's sad. And y'all stay up, okay? Bye-bye.